friend that went to the showing of the documentary, and what Bob doesn't know yet, because his friends haven't told him, is that they had a boom mic listening to him talk to a certain flat earther at one point, and Bob is actually explaining how this was bad for flat Earth, how they keep trying to do different tests to basically negate the fact that they keep getting the same result of the 15 degrees per hour. So this will all be here for everyone to see once that movie.
Oh, that's no problem at all, because I can just smash that into the ground right here on this show, if that is the case and he said it's bad for flat Earth. Because that 15-degree turn per hour would require a presupposition that you're on a sphere if that's the thing that's causing the sun to turn.
By the way, this guy Will
if that is the cause, then the presuppositional value of R is the cause of the 15-degree turn per hour. So that would require a bit of proof of R now, wouldn't it, Tim?
No.
No? So the presupposition that it's the sphere Earth turning doesn't require any evidence of it being a sphere, i.e. the radius value. That's interesting. You can just assert it anyway. It's not a presupposition even though you're asserting it's the sphere Earth causing that 15-degree turn. That's very interesting, Tim. It sounds like you've got some strange idea yourself about what a presupposition is, my friend. A presupposition is where you predetermine the cause of the effect, as opposed to establishing a scientific cause. Now, for that, you'd need some proof of the R value that you have decided is the cause of this 15 degrees an hour. Interesting, that, isn't it? Your presuppositional value of R that you all adhere to, even though you think not using or talking about it means that you don't believe in it, Tim. I assure you, you do.
Women were the ones with the high cheekbones.
Tim's happy. He has one tiny little thing.
Oh shit, your voice isn't even the voice.
Yeah, well, I'm glad Arwijn, you're smart enough to understand that.
Block the disc Earth modelers from taking the heavenly bodies as physical objects moving over this. And that is the constant angular speed of the sun over its pathway in relation to the observer. And he thinks that that is automatic a win for the globe, because the globe uses the same foundation to assume through R and through all of their nonsense that it is the sun ball moving in a path around the Earth, well, rather the Earth is spinning underneath it. And so he just loves that we cannot, well, that the disc Earthers cannot dispel this because of constant angular speed. But yeah, that win is not going to help you because you still have no proof of R or G or any of that. It just makes the mystery of what
he thinks it's a win, even though not only is it like him accusing us of taking selective information from people like NASA, so suddenly Bob's information validates his nonsense, which I think is brilliant. So suddenly Bob's right, is it? This is really damaging. Nah, it just needs somebody to come along like us and point out that it's all based on a presuppositional value of R, that even though you don't talk about it, Tim, it's still in effect, mate. Sorry, you're a believer. You've got a religious faith. How does the ring laser
gyro have anything to do with the radius of the Earth?
Because the 15 degrees an hour turn of the Earth presupposes you have a turn of the sphere Earth. Therefore requires an R value. Am I speaking slowly enough for you, Timothy?
You don't know anything about ring laser gyros.
Oh, well, I know that if they're showing 15 degrees an hour, that obviously proves the presupposition that it's the sphere Earth causing it. Yeah, right, mate. Oh, what kind of an idiot are you? Sorry, did you just tell me that I don't understand presupposition, Tim? Was that what you asserted, that I don't understand a presupposition? Man, you've got egg on your face properly now, haven't you? Don't you understand that in order for the 15 degrees an hour of Earth turn, spherical Earth turn, would need it to be a sphere that you presupposed, Tim? You don't get that? That's why I asked you what's causing the 15 degrees, mate. You were just too slow to pick up on the reason for my question.
Okay, cool. So anyway...
Yeah, cool. You got a value of R that you believe in. You're a religious believer, Tim. It's very amusing.
You're just like a child, man.
I'm not a child.
Sad.
I know you're a religious believer. You don't even know...
Okay, go ahead.
You don't even know where you need to believe in R. You think that the 15 degrees an hour doesn't require R because you're a Mongol.
All right, I think he's done, Arwijn. So anyway,
I'm not done.
Anyway, hold on. I've been quiet for
Please
5
ask his
minutes,
question
you
to me.
clown.
I want to know what he has to ask.
Good Lord.
The four you guys brought up the four
Hey, dummy.
equinoxes.
Mark,
Dummy, I'm
come on.
talking.
What is
So,
your
are you
question?
proposing that the sun is metaphysical, Arwijn? Please explain that. You say it might not be physical. Metaphysical would be the
What
next
do you
thing,
mean
right?
with metaphysical?
The real Tim.
You know what metaphysics are.
I'm sorry,
No,
why are
let's
you
just
asking
skip
Arwijn a
the
question?
formalities.
I've made quite a few assertions just
I'm
now. Arwijn, just
fine
hold on
with
1
him
second.
asking me a question.
Because I'm
Just
asking,
make us
because
hold
I've got him on the ropes, and now rather than address my issue that I have, he's asking you a question just so he knows, because he knows damn well that he can use you against me, Arwijn, because he knows you won't shut the hell up. Because he's now laughing at you, Arwijn, because he knows that as soon as he introduces you, he'll manage to get you to argue with me, and he won't have to actually address the point I've made about R, and you won't shut the hell up.
Go on, guys.
So, Tim's gone now. Now he's realised that I've identified the trick that you fell for, Arwijn, so thanks a bunch.
Trick that I felt he was just
Yeah, he set you against me, and you fell for it hook, line, and sinker because he's recognised that you won't shut your mouth at the moment.
I won't shut my mouth. Look
Yeah,
who's
he
talking
talked
here.
all over me at the point that I had him on the ropes. Yeah, because he decided to ask you a question. So in your own self-importance, you thought my question from Tim is the most important thing here, not recognising the fact that I had his toes to the fire about his belief in art.
He does recognize it. I'm getting kind of tired of not being able to just have some panel time here and have people ask me questions that I.
Oh right, sorry, I didn't realise this was the Arwijn question time.
Okay, so it is just you.
No, I was addressing something with Tim Osman, had his toes to the fire, and then when he asked you a question, you decided, that Tim's question to me is much more important than Nathan holding his toes to the fire. I'll answer his question. And then he laughed because he knew what he was doing. All he had to do was wind you up and let you go, and you'd talk all over me rather than letting me actually hold him to account for his belief in art.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to take a break from this show because you're being extremely intolerant of me. I'm getting kind of sick of this. So I'll see you around.
No.
Well, sorry, Arwijn, you feel that way. That's unfortunate.
Bro hug. Oh.
So, now that Arwijn's gone, I'll round out that point. Tim Osman, regardless of whether or not he realises it, has a belief in an R value. That belief is based around 15-degree turns an hour from ring laser gyros and the stars. Without a presupposition of R, he doesn't have an Earth turning to cause that. That's what he requires. Just doesn't realise it. It's too dumb.
Come back, Arwijn. Oh, y'all are mean.
You know, since it got a little quiet, if you could bring up the four equinoxes, the fact that you cannot see four different constellations in the four different equinoxes, since the Earth rotates around the sun.
Camera, this is good stuff.
Or I could be disconnected.
You're a bit quiet. Can you repeat that?
Why don't you just talk us through it? Why don't you talk us through your thought on